It is March 22nd, 2020, and the world is dealing with a pandemic. I'm in Canada, and so far we're doing pretty good, but a lot of my viewers are in the US and the UK. It looks like you guys are in for a pretty rough ride over the next little while. So stay healthy, stay safe, and be kind to each other. I hope you enjoy the video.
Regarding automobiles, yeah.
Hello, welcome to the video where I attempt to remove the engine from my Mini. This is not a tutorial video. If you want a tutorial video, go check out ModMini's channel. His videos are awesome, and I followed his video every step of the way. This is more to show you someone that's never done anything like this and the issues that I've run into. So let's hit the garage and get started. Welcome to the series of videos where I try to diagnose what's wrong with the car and try to fix it, where I will be pulling an engine out of this car. It'll be the first time I'm doing something like that. I have watched a few videos online. I've read a few DIYs. I think there's gonna be a lot of sort of learning on the fly here, but I have seen ModMini do it in an hour and a bit. So I'm hoping to do it in, say, a few weeks, and that's just working an hour or two at a time. The system I'm going to use, unlike some of the people I see online where they have an understanding of where all the bolts go so they can just put it in a big bucket. I'm gonna have some Ziploc bags to put all the bolts in, and then I'm gonna have a whole bunch of Post-its, and hopefully between these two things I'll be able to keep track of everything I'm doing on the way out so I can do it exactly in reverse on the way in. So first things first, let's get started and just do the basics and do some, remove all the fluids. Okay, I just pulled the oil plug, and then I pulled off the plastic rain guard or plastic guard here, and we have our first warning signs. Right, everything's kind of a little bit oily, but also it's got this sort of brown to it. That's screaming head gasket. Although, head gasket wouldn't really, like, instantly cause the engine to stop, I don't think. In any case, let's take a look at the oil in the that drained out. So this is what the oil looks like in the pan. It's not like milky white, but there is a little bit of brownness, like, in it. Might be hard to tell in the video here. Like over here, you see a little bit of a sort of brown sludge in it. Anyway, first indications of something wrong. Coolant looks okay. The little bits of oil you see there is just from, they were already in the pan. So looks like maybe coolant got into oil, but not vice versa. So whatever that means. So I have my first broken bolt here. It's right there. So I'll have to deal with that at some point. Okay, the secret to getting these out, there's a sliding clip. So when it's in and locked, it's all the way in, and then so you have to sort of shimmy it out, and then pull up, and it comes out. For the coil pack, there's a little red tab that slides in and out, and you have to slide it out to be able to pull the connector off. So this fuel line, I assume I push this black thing in. I don't want to break anything. This seems like not something you want to break. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so I just used the open pliers and jammed in there. I didn't even squeeze. I didn't close them. I just put it in there and pulled this way. It clicked. And now I hope. Ooh. Yeah. It popped right out. That's the end of day one for me. It's been about 4 hours. Compared to the ModMini video, he's about 20 something minutes in. So 4 hours for me, 20 something minutes for him. But of course I've been labeling all my bags, labeling every single cable I pull off so I can get it all back together. So yeah, that's the end of day one for me, and we'll start again tomorrow. Okay, it's day two. We're just gonna keep going where we left off. I've started a little list over here. And this is all the things I've broken so far, and I'll just keep adding to this list as I break things. Okay, so this is the crank position sensor. You can see sort of all around it is just gunk. So I imagine that seal is also dead. So we'll have to replace that. That's actually a fairly common thing on these cars, I think, but we're still seeing the sort of telltale signs of the yellowness right here. So oil leaking everywhere, but with the yellow tinge. Just screaming head gasket at the moment. Okay, so this is the axle out. You can see here, it's not looking so healthy. Hold on, there we go. It's not looking so healthy, so that'll need to be replaced. Fuck. Oh, don't tell me the whole f***ing thing. Okay, so from what I can tell, the whole engine mount gave way. Like the, I don't know, the bushing, I guess, gave way inside, so it's just spinning around rather than letting the bolt go. So it's a huge fucking pain in the ass. I don't really know how to solve this. Maybe new plan of attack is get this bolt out, see what we can go from there. Oh, only got one. If I can get it off. Okay. But it still doesn't, I think it doesn't solve my issue, but it gives me the room I need to move to the next step. And I'll deal with that once the engine's out. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's detached from the engine, and I think it gives me enough room to get the axle out, so. so for the starter motor, there's a 13 mil here that I've already taken off. There's another 13 right here that I don't think needs to come off. What needs to come off is a 10 mil, and it's just hidden. You just put it back here and just feel around until it actually lands, and then you can take that one off. At this point, I was just starting to take the manifold bolts out, and this is definitely the most annoying thing I had to do. I probably spent 5 hours trying to get this done. So I'm not going to show you everything I did. I went to go through it, but I tried a lot, so I'm just going to skip ahead. So I'm about 10 to 12 hours into this, and everything is disconnected. All the electrical is disconnected. It's looking pretty good, actually. The only thing that's stopping me right now is there's 2 bolts in the exhaust manifold that are stuck in there forever, as far as I can tell. I tried heating them, WD-40, PB Blaster. I even bought not 1 but 2 different bolt extractor kits, and neither of them can get these bolts out. So it looks like I'm gonna have to Dremel them out. So I've picked up like a Dremel extension, and I'll cut it out after, hopefully, if I can get in there. And then there's 1 more bolt holding in a few heater hoses way down low. So I think the idea is I'm gonna put together a cherry picker that I just picked up, get everything hooked up. Well, find some engine mounts, I guess, get everything hooked up, and maybe I can get a little space in there and cut those bolts out. Okay, finished building the cherry picker. Looking good. I'm a little worried that I had it up here and I left for about an hour and I came back and it was sort of tilted down, so I'm not sure how much load it's holding. Anyway, deal with that later. I tried cutting or grinding the bolts off with just some cheapo grinding wheels. It wasn't really going very well, so I went out and got a carbide tip for the Dremel, and that's what I'm going to try now. This is what I've resorted to. I bought a 90-degree angle for the rotary tool, a little cutting disc there, hoping this is going to do it, get me the right angle to get down there and cut those 2 bolts off, because those 2 bolts are really pissing me off now. If this doesn't work, then we'll go to something more drastic. Okay, after about 30 seconds of cutting the little bit that the actual cutting wheel goes onto, like the little metal, I don't know, chuck or whatever it's called, just snapped halfway through. I wasn't putting even very much pressure on it, to be honest. So that broke. I'm pretty fed up with these 2 bolts, and I was gonna get the engine out to decide what needed to be upgraded, what needed to be fixed, can the engine be saved, whatever it was. But at this point, I've made a decision on one of the upgrades I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put a new set of headers on. Why is that? Well, that means I don't need the old ones. Son of a bitch. Now who's laughing? Exhaust bolt. I think we might be good to go here. Oh, what is that? Oh. You ready for it? So that is one engine and transmission pulled. Well, that is a big job done. It took me about 15, 16 hours approximately. I'll introduce you to a little concept called Canada tax, which is basically you watch a video on YouTube, you figure out how long it's going to take or how long it takes them, and then you add 5 times that because every bolt on your car is going to be rusty, it strips, you have to grind it out, you have to drill it out, it just falls apart, whatever it is. So yeah, 15 hours. ModMini, who you should be supporting. If you're a Mini enthusiast, go check out his channel. I'll put it in the description. He did it in an hour and 15 minutes or something along those lines. So I'm extremely happy with this. I've never done anything like this before. Definitely the most extreme thing I've ever done to a car. What to do next? Well, next I need to determine what can be saved, if the engine can be saved at all, what needs to be upgraded other than the header, obviously. But that's not for today. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you again next time.